Namaste 10th class. Let's continue chapter federalism. In previous lecture we have covered up two important topics. First one is features of federalism and another one is types of federation, that is coming together federation and holding together federation. Now today we'll see whether India is a federal country or not, and the very easy way to do that is just take features of federalism one by one and just check whether they are in existence in India or not. Before that, I'd like to tell you one important marker. There can be question in the form whether Constitution of India mentions the word federation or not. So answer is no. India or Bharat is defined in the Constitution as union of states and not federation of states. First feature of federalism is that it has two tiers of government. So yes, in India we have central or union government, then we have state government. Another third tier is also in existence in India, that is panchayats and municipalities. Now in federalism, different tiers of government have separate jurisdiction. To ensure this, the Constitution of India mentions three lists. First one is union list. The power to govern over the subjects mentioned in the union list comes under union government. Examples are defense, foreign affairs, banking, communications and currency. All these five are mentioned in the NCERT, so don't take risk of skipping any one of them. Moving on to state list. Power lies with the state government to govern over the subjects mentioned in the state list. Examples are police, trade, agriculture, commerce and irrigation. Now we have third list, that is concurrent list. In this concurrent list, the subjects mentioned are governed by both, that is union as well as state government. But if there is clash, union government's decision will prevail over the state government. Alright, then we have registry subjects. So under this we have subjects which are not mentioned in either of the three lists, or we can say the subjects which were not in existence during the time of constitution making, that is they have evolved over the passage of time. So computer software is one of the example of them, and power lies with the union government. Then we have all states don't have equal powers, holding type federation, right? So we have this right in the case of India, as union territories don't have much power and they are governed by the central government. Then we have amending the power sharing arrangement. Yes, neither of the tier of government can change the constitution by itself, and to bring any amendment in this power sharing arrangement, you need to have 2/3 majority of both the houses of parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and it should be ratified by at least half of the state legislatures as well. Then we have another feature of federalism, that is judiciary resolves the disputes. So yes, we have Supreme Court and High Court which decides whether legislature and executive are working within the boundaries of constitution or not. And different tiers of government have different taxes levying power, so to ensure financial autonomy. I'll see how is it practiced in India. So there were some of the challenges before the newly formed government after the independence. So first one was the demarcation of boundaries of different states in India. So some states were formed on the basis of different culture, ethnicity and geography. Examples of these states are Nagaland, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand. Then one major challenge was of language policy. Our constitution does not mention any language to be the national language. Hindi is declared as official language, but there were some sort of protest by non-Hindi speaking states. So English, it was decided that English will be continued for official purpose till 1965, but due to some reasons it has to be continued further more than that. And states have their own official language to ensure stability in the government. And along with Hindi, there are 21 more languages which are mentioned in the constitution as scheduled languages, and a person can appear or can write down paper in any of these languages for the central or union government. All right, then we have another issue of central state relations. If there is one important term under this heading, that is coalition government. So this is the government formed by coming together of at least two political parties when none of the parties get majority of the votes. So to make government, these two parties come together to form government. All right, homework is to read the topic from NCERT, understand it well, prepare notes in your own wording and write question answers covered up on the basis of these topics. Thank you.